everyone, welcome back. I'm Katie, and today I am doing a big book haul. So surprisingly, I have enough books for another book haul. Most of these, no, all of these, are books that I have gotten for review. So I figured I would share with you what books I'm excited about because I do not accept any books for review unless I really want to read them. So these are all the ones. I don't even think I can hold them up because I'm probably, there's quite a few. So the first three that I have were a trilogy that a small Christian publishers kindly asked me if I was interested in any of the books that they had on their website. I said I would take a look and see. They seem to have a lot of pretty good titles, even though they didn't have like a huge selection yet because they are still small. So they did send me kind of like ebooks, but they're just PDFs of the ones that I requested, but they did want me to have this trilogy because they said they loved the way the spines look together, which I do agree. They look really nice. Let me see if I can put them actually in order. But they do look really nice. I was like, oh, these are like really nice. So those are the spines. And this is the Daughter of Ardan series, and it is Exile, Wandering, and Promise. And all these are Christian fiction. I believe these are middle grade to low YA. So this one is a retelling of the Grimm's tale Maid Maleen. And it says, I will give you 3 days in which to choose your fate. No matter which choice Maleen made, it appeared bondage was the life her father laid before her. In this retelling of the Grimm's tale Maid Maleen, war advances on the nation of Ardan. To keep Princess Maleen safe, the king gives her 2 options: marriage to a prince she doesn't love, or retreat in a tower protected by the work of a stone sage. So I'm excited to give these a go because I love fantasy, Christian fantasy even more. So very, very excited to get to these. I forgot to show you the covers. So that's Exile. The covers are gorgeous too. Wandering, and this big brick of a book is Promise, which is like extremely big. So it's going to take me a few months to finish. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. That's bigger than I thought it was. Almost 700 pages long. I have not had a big book like that in a while. So that one's going to take me a good long time to get to. Then I have Kimberly Woodhouse's newest book in her Treasures of the Earth series. This is set in stone. These are all set around archaeologists and digging up dinosaur bones. There's a little bit of mystery, a little bit of romance. Perfect mixture, and I'm excited to get into this second book. I have Tracy Peterson's newest series, Beginner. This is A Love Discovered, first book in the heart of Cheyenne. And this one I already know I'm probably going to love because this is about an arranged marriage between 2 friends where this man decides to go to Cheyenne. But he comes to find out when he gets there is that, his wife and son passed away. But then when he gets to Cheyenne, he finds out that the settlers there are only looking for young married couples. So he proposes to his friend who invited him out there. So I'm very, very excited for this one. I know I'm going to love it. I have Joanna Davidson Politano's newest book, which is The Elusive Truth of Lily Temple. This has to do with, it's definitely more lighter. If you were like unsure because The Lost Melody is very heavy, that was her book that came out last year or the year before. It was very heavy. This one, she said, is a lot more on the lighter side. It has fairy tales. It has silent film stars. I am all excited about this book. I cannot wait to read it. So that's at the top of my list for April. And I also have Erin Bartel's newest book, which is called The Lady with the Dark Hair, which I love this background. I thought it was flowers before I got it, and then I realized that it is actually paint. So this is a dual timeline talking about painters, famous painters, and it talks about an orphan turned fugitive who finds a home, I believe, in an artist's house. So very, very excited. Oh, no. He's a merchant who sells pigments to artists. So never read a story about that. So that's really interesting. And I'm excited to read it because I've read one other book by her and loved it. So I have to read more by her. Then I have a book that the author actually sent to me. I told him I might not get to it until summer, but he was fine with it. So he sent me a copy of his book. This is All Battles End at Sunset. And this is a Christian middle grade book, historical fiction. It says ages ain't enough. That's nice. It has all the info on the back. But this is a 1562 Florida book about when Elizabeth sits on the throne of England, and then the Inquisition strikes through Spain. So in France, they start to get into the French wars of religion. So a 12-year-old orphan boy, Marcel, ends up finding himself caught up in the action, and then he joins in with a legendary sea captain named Jean Ribault and his crew of French freedom fighters known as the Huguenots to go to Florida. And so very excited to see if I like this one. I was like, oh, sounds interesting. I'm excited to read it. Okay, next up we have Jill Eileen Smith's book, which I might have shown in a previous book haul. I'm not sure. I could have. But this is her book on the story of Noah's wife. This is biblical fiction, so it's all during Noah's time, before the flood and after the flood. So very excited to read that one. I'm just going to put them over there. And I might have shown this one as well in a book haul, Just for the Summer by Melody Carlson. Maybe I haven't. This is about two girls who are friends, and they end up switching places and jobs and boyfriends on the other side of the country. So I'm very, very excited to read this one because I have a feeling it's going to be another favorite, because I do love that. I don't know if that's a trope or not, but I love that when like we got like the holiday swap or whatever. So it's not set during a holiday, I don't think, but very excited to read that one too. And then I got this one. I was very happy to get this in the mail. This is the Dragon Keeper Saga by Catherine Butler. This is The Quest for the Guardian, book 4. And I was actually going to request this as a review copy. I get to request one book from Crossway each month. And this was going to be my pick for April. Was it April? It's going to be April or May, whenever this book comes out. When does this book comes out? I think it might be this month that it came out. Like at the end of this month. But I was going to request it. And all of a sudden it arrived in the mail. So I'm like, well, I'm glad this came before I requested it. So apparently they figured I've requested the other 3. Most likely book 4 is going to be on the list. And it was. So happy to get this. It will be read and reviewed in April because I really want to read it. So this is another chunky one. It's over 400 pages. So, but it is going on my list. I'm hoping to get it onto my TBR game. Hopefully. Then I got a small stack of books from Baker Publishing for March. I have to catch up in these, but that's okay. Things happen, weather, whatever, but they got sent a little late. That's okay. I don't mind because I still get to read them and have fun enjoying them and talking about them with you. So I got A Lady's Guide to Marvels and Misadventures by Angela Bell. As soon as I saw this cover last year, I was like, I need to read it. This cover is probably one of my favorite covers of all time. I love it. It is stunning. It is my favorite color. And I was just, I needed to read this. So this is about a girl named Clara, and her ex-fiance begins to spread rumors and her family suffers from hereditary insanity. It's all she can do to protect them from his desperate schemes, society's prejudice, and a lifetime in an asylum. Then Clara's grandfather, Drosselmeyer, brings on an apprentice with a mechanical leg, and all pretense of normalcy takes wing. It just sounds like such a magical, wonderful time. I cannot wait to read that one. Then we have Karen Whitmire's new If the Boot Fits. This is in the Texas Ever After series. So if you could not tell by the title or the cover, it is a Cinderella retelling set in Texas. So that's all I need to know. I mean, there's going to be balls, southern balls. So, but I'm very intrigued to try that one out. I think it's going to be lots of fun. A lot of blue covers I'm showing you, apparently, this time around. Then we have, which has been probably in my top books that I've been wanting to read this year, and that is A Noble Scheme by Rosanna M. White. Hey, look, another blue cover. And I'm wearing blue. This is the month of blue, apparently. But we have A Noble Scheme. This is The Impostors book 2. Book 1 was a favorite of last year. I loved it so much. I could not believe how much I loved it. It had spies and trapeze artists, and it just had all the fun stuff that I want in a novel. And so book 2 is about Gemma and Gemma and Graham. I couldn't think of his name. Gemma and Graham. So I think they had they're like, you see them in the first novel as like almost like enemies, and we really don't know like how they really became enemies. So maybe we'll see like what happens then. So excited. I think that's what the story we're going to see. Oh, maybe not. No, that's right. I was like, are we talking about the same couple? I think we're talking about the same couple. All right, the next one is These Tangled Threads by Sarah Loudon Thomas. This is a novel of Biltmore, which I'm so excited. It's probably one of my favorite settings because I've actually been there. I've been to Biltmore Manor and it's beautiful. Oh, just if you get to Biltmore, definitely check out the balconies. That view from Biltmore is gorgeous. Like, no wonder they picked that spot to put Biltmore Manor on there. It's beautiful. And then the whole like exterior of it is gorgeous. No wonder so many authors like set their novels around there because it's absolutely beautiful. So this one we're following a hidden betrayal with 3 young friends living in the shadow of the great Vanderbilt mansion. Now in Biltmore Industries, master weaver Lorna Blankenship is commissioned to create an original design for Cornelia Vanderbilt's 1924 wedding. 1920 is one of my favorites. She panics knowing she doesn't have the creativity needed, but there's an elusive artisan in the Blue Ridge Mountains who could save her if only she knew where to begin. So, sounds good. I'm excited. Can't wait to read that one. Okay, now I think that's it, but I want to double check because I think I might actually have a couple more to show you. I don't know if I showed you this, but I pre-ordered Melanie Dickerson's newest release, which was Lady of Disguise. This is book like, what is this? Book 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Book 6 in the Daracot Tales. And I pre-ordered this because I was like, you know what? I'm going to order it this time. And so I was able to actually get it signed still. One indie bookstore said they could get books signed. So I was like, yes, please, because I have all of her books signed from the Daracot series except for one. I still need a book plate for book 1 because I think a friend gave me book 1 and I was like, I don't have a book plate for that one. So, but another one signed and I'm just so excited. This is a Jack and the Beanstalk loosely based retelling, so I'm very excited to give this one a go. And this probably, I would say, one of my favorite covers. I love the green. Like, that moss green is absolutely gorgeous. There's like a castle in the background. Super beautiful. I just realized I actually do have a lot more to show you. Not a ton, but I forgot. I did make an order on Amazon and I was like, oh yes, I forgot. So thank you, Lord, for reminding me because I totally would have forgotten. But anyways, I have 2 more books that aren't necessarily review books, but I'm part of the tours for them. So the first one is When the Flames Ravaged. I just spit. When the Flames Ravaged by Rhonda Dragomir. And this one is, they're a whole series. I know I'm going to get the next one as well. And I don't, this is not the first book, but they're all kind of standalone novels. And this one is set during World War II. The woman is a World War II Gold Star widow. And she's taken in by her brother and sued by his wife and children. But Evelyn refuses to cower to grief. She may not understand God's mysterious ways, but she has never questioned him until the circus fire. So this has to do with circuses, which I'm so excited about. All these books are books that, whether it says on the top, whether by nature or by man, some disasters changed history and were a day to be remembered. And I think that's all the series is about, is either man-made or God-created disasters that happened around that time. So. And then the last one that I have is called The Mercy Seat by Henry O. Arnold. This is the Urban Chronicles. And this is it's about a neighborhood called Hell's Canyon in Richland, Tennessee, where tourists never venture and locals fear to tread. Maxwell Crane, former Marine chaplain and pastor of the Mercy Seat Church, struggles to provide a beacon of hope. But others have their eyes set on Hell's Canyon. Power elites, robber barons, and street gangs seek their own gain at the cost of the urban neighborhood. For the people who live there, it's been a fight to exist their whole lives, and that fight is getting harder. Maxwell doesn't have to stay in Hell's Canyon. He and his wife could leave to live a comfortable middle-class existence. Instead, Maxwell chooses to risk his life and the lives of those around him to stand against the oppressors. So, actually sounds really, really good. It is book 1, so I am intrigued to read this one, and I have a feeling it's going to be heartbreaking, but I think it's also going to be really good, so I have that one. Now, those were all kind of review books / books I'm doing for giveaway tours on Instagram, and now we're going to get into the books I actually bought myself, so, because I forgot I got these books for when I go to the Fiction Reader Summit. These were the last ones that I wanted to get. So I actually got this one. I forgot to bring up the rest of the stuff that I got with it, but this was actually a giveaway win. And I was so excited. I was like, I could not believe that I won. I was so happy because I've been wanting my favorite Jill Eileen Smith book for a while now. I've been wanting it for like a good couple of years, if not longer. And it is The Crimson Cord by Jill Eileen Smith. It is Rahab's story. It is my favorite Rahab retelling. I love it so much. And so I was in her launch group on Facebook. Her and Ravel were doing a giveaway for her launch of her new book, which I have that one too. I did show you that one. But they were like, we are doing giveaways here. And so I decided to join in. I was like, I do want to support Jill. And so I was in there, and then I ended up winning the grand prize, which I thought was like, I was like, what? Like, I never win grand prizes. So that was a really nice blessing from the Lord. So I won a Noah's Ark little wooden replication. Couldn't think of that word, replicate. And then I also won a Noah's Ark puzzle and a Noah's Ark mug. If I do remember, I would try to put pictures here so you can see, but I was just so happy, and I was like, I could not believe it. And then they said you could pick any of Jill's books. It did not have to be the new one, which I was happy about that because I already had it. And so I was like, do you have The Crimson Cord? Because this is my favorite of hers, and I need it. So I got it. I am so happy. This is coming with me to the Fiction Reader Summit so I can have it signed, and I'm just so excited. And then I bought a couple books on Amazon, so I did end up getting, finally, I've been wanting this one for a while, I got Angela Ruth Strong's Husband Auditions. I've already read it, already enjoyed it. It's about a girl who is staying with her brother, I think, and his friend, but like one's upstairs, one's in the basement. But then she ends up saying, like, you know, she's kind of on the last threads. Everyone's telling her to get married, but then like she finally finds this list of how to get a husband, but like this list is from like the 1970s or 80s. I think, did her mom have it or her grandmother? Actually, it could have been her grandmother. No, it was a 1950s magazine article that was handed to her. That's right. I couldn't remember that part. But she decides to make videos. Her brother's friend says, I can help you make videos. And we can go around and try out these different tactics. And so it's really cute. It's really funny. It ended in a different way that I was not expecting it to end. So that was kind of interesting how it ended. But I had to grab this one. Already read it. Already loved it. Then I obviously had to get this one. This has been on everybody's radar for like the past couple months since it's come out. Everyone has raved about it that has read it, and that is The Rare Jewel of Everly Wheaton by Susan L. Tuttle. I have been wanting to read this one really, really badly. I cannot wait to read it. Somebody mentioned that it was Charlie's Angels adventure type story, and I was like, that just got me. I'm like, I need to read it. I have a feeling I'm going to absolutely love it, devour it in 24 hours. I know this is going to be a new favorite. I just have that feeling. This is going to go on like a 5-star prediction video coming up. Let's do that soon too. Anyway, so that will be a perfect choice. And then the last three books I got. I got books, not book one, unfortunately. That was like out of stock, or I don't know what happened, but I cannot find a copy of it. Yeah, so I can't find a copy that's not used. So I did, though, end up purchasing book 2, 3, and 4 of the hardcovers of the Drosserin Saga by Ronnie Kendig. These have been on my list for so many years that I'm like, I really want to read them. They're sci-fi. I love sci-fi. And I'm meeting her later this year. So I was like, I figured I would just need to get them to read them. So yes, I could not find book 1, unfortunately, at all. So I'm hoping they'll have book 1 at Baker Bookhouse when I'm there. That would be amazing. That would be amazing if they had that there. But yeah, so I got Dawn of Vengeance, which is book 2. So Dawn of Vengeance, I love these covers. Shadow of Honor and War of Torment. So I ended up getting these because 2 of these were so cheap. One was like $4 or $5, and then the other hardcover was only like between 8 and 10. I'm like, for a hardcover book, that's amazing. I'm getting both of them. And I think the other one wasn't that expensive either. I don't think did I pay full price for it? No, I wouldn't pay $24. Sorry, I can't afford that right now. But it wasn't full price that I remember. But I was able to get all three of these for a really good price. I think I probably got all of them for the same price as one hardcover, which I was so excited about. You have no idea how exciting that was to find all three of these books. So very excited. Okay, so I think that is everything that I've showed you that I have gotten in book haul. So if you've read any of these books, let me know how you thought of them. Did you enjoy them? I'd love to hear, and I will see you all in the next video.